Today, the advertisements featuring people of color are not as overtly racist or stereotypical as in the ads previously shown. For example, the Pop Chips ad, shown at the beginning of this video, was removed almost immediately from public screening, which demonstrates the progress that has been made against racial stereotyping from U.S. audiences. However, current ads continue to evoke racist stereotypes, although more subtly. People of color in today's advertising market are generally either fit into a white ideal or are portrayed as a racial other. Ads featuring Black or African American people are oftentimes reminiscent of the white master/black slave relationship. U.S. blacks are also sometimes portrayed as natural to promote the coolness of U.S. blacks, like in this ad. This portrayal attempts to use quote-unquote ethnic blackness to sell cool consumer products to white customers. This portrayal focuses on the difference of blacks, therefore isolating them from white culture, even though ethnic blackness is portrayed positively as cool. Tropical imagery around U.S. blacks evokes the colonial stereotype of black natives that are conquered by white voyagers. In this example, the woman of color is wearing a tropical necklace and has natural, unstraightened hair to appeal to the colonial imaginary for white audiences. People of Asian descent are frequently portrayed in offices or work situations or associated with technology. Female Asian models are oftentimes overly sexualized or passive. People of South Asian descent, especially Indians, are portrayed as gullible, overly cultural, and hopelessly unaware of U.S. culture. People of Middle Eastern descent are generally invisible in the media, save for references to them as terrorists. This ad is an example. People of Latin American descent are less apparent in many ads because Latino models appear white and conform to white standards of beauty. Those who are present are oftentimes portrayed as sensuous Latinas or illegal men. Examining the question of ideal beauty in ads directed at women implies that racism is also a women's issue because it plays a large part in defining beauty standards in the U.S. Taking a look at advertisements selling women's clothing and beauty products oftentimes feature women of color near white women to infer racial equality. Upon greater inspection of some examples, however, two distinct patterns emerge. Women of color are either whitened by conforming to white ideals of beauty, with such features as straightened hair, a thin figure, and a lightened complexion, or are exoticized as extremely different from white women, who are either present or absent in the ad. In this example, the woman of color is looking at the white woman, who is at the center of the ad. The relative positions of each model and their race implies a subservience of the darker-skinned model to the lighter-skinned model. In the examples used at the beginning of the video, the darker-skinned model looks almost exactly like the lighter-skinned model in terms of features: straight hair, presumably slim figure, and features that are slightly more pronounced than the white model, but still reminiscent of European features. According to Lisa Wade, Ph.D., the distinction of many female models of color is reduced to their skin. Otherwise, their body types and features mirror those of white women. In contrast, this ad emphasizes the difference of a woman of African descent. Ads selling beauty products rarely showcase models with very dark skin or features that differ too much from the European ideal. This American Apparel ad, for example, highlights the larger lips of the dark-skinned model as if to point to her difference from European-looking models with pink lipstick. By exaggerating the features that differentiate the model from a white audience's expectation for an attractive clothing model, American Apparel portrayed the dark-skinned model as a racialized other, otherizing a person based on their race may be perceived as a form of racism. As opposed to vintage ads, contemporary ads play into racist stereotypes subtly. Racist humor is generally used to sell consumer products, and the portrayal of people of color often echoes historical racial hierarchies based on white supremacy. In beauty advertisement, women of color are shown with minimal difference to white women, implying that white beauty is the desired form of female beauty. On the other hand, people of color are also shown as distinctive and often unattractive to echo older ads that naturalized the racial order of white supremacy. Undoubtedly, the visibility of people of color in advertisements has an effect on the racial understanding of people of color in the U.S. According to one statistic, the average American is exposed to 3,000 commercials per day. Just imagine the impact of racist ads on our society. To address this problem, U.S. audiences must continue to demand that racist ads and commercials are pulled from public viewing. U.S. viewers must refuse to support companies whose ads use racist imagery or stereotyping to sell their products. Although there are very few existing resources to campaign against racist advertising, one of the most important things U.S. consumers can do is pay attention to how and why people of color are portrayed in advertisements and speak up when their presence is reminiscent of colonial legacies. Another important way to continue eradicating racist advertising is by spreading awareness. Talk about how you see different racially diverse peoples in advertisements. Spread around the link to this video. Selectively purchase products according to the way they represent their models. Although racism is a big problem in U.S. society that extends far beyond advertisement, businesses will listen to their consumers when they refuse to buy products because of their advertisement portrayal. Don't be afraid to stand up and make your voice heard about demeaning racist ads. In the meantime, here are some links to articles about people who have already spoken up about racist ads. In this case, U.S. consumers must use their consumer power to influence the business-driven decisions of companies producing racist advertisements.